Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2, mic check, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2, tell me what you're going to do. I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to listen to me rant about Major League Baseball, specifically the Boston Red Sox. Oh my Lord, here we go again. The Titanic is taking on water. I don't know if it's hit the iceberg or it's on its way, but it's getting there. Welcome to I Don't Disagree, the non-competitive show of sports banter, riff-raff, flim-flam, him-haw, whatever you want to call it. I am RJ, the host with the least, the host with the most, who is again here in spirit. The one, the only, the redoubtable Tom Izzo himself is still up on the Jersey Shore there at Ocean City, and enjoying coastal life, looking at a sunset, basking in the glow of who knows what right now, given the fact that his Mets did what I predicted they were going to do the other night. I said they were going to take 3 or 4 of these 5 games. It appears they have taken 4 or 5 from the mighty Atlanta Braves. They are not so mighty at the moment because the Mets have solidified their position atop that division. So we will take a tour around Major League Baseball in our first segment tonight. Welcome to a sweltering mid-sack, a very sweltering, sweaty, saggy, soggy sack, whatever you want to call it. That is a giant bug because we are outside. We are in the garage because that's where it all goes down, the garage. If you have a garage and you don't have a bar fridge in it, we have to talk, okay? So, and there's one right here. It's just off camera, but it's here. It's here. I can open the door and see you can. No, you can't see the door. You have to move the camera, but it is there. Anyway. Welcome to I Don't Disagree. Again, this is IDD for those of you in the know. First segment will be going around a triple round Major League Baseball, if you will. It is August the 7th here, 9 p.m. in the East. As we speak, there's a couple of heavyweights going at it right now out on the left coast there. The Dodgers are going at it with the steroid-induced San Diego Padres. I don't mean steroid, I mean steroid in the form of Juan Soto. Okay, right now the Dodgers are leading 2-0 at last check. They're in the bottom of the 6th. Looks like the Dodgers have a man on second with 1 out. We will keep you posted throughout the evening with that. We will start with because I'm gonna get this out of the way quick and get to the good news from my man over here. Say hello to Tom. He's a man of few words today. He's a man of few words this week. And honestly, he doesn't have much to say because he's got nothing to complain about. And if Tom has nothing to complain about, then what is Tom? I mean, Tom's just, we like Feel Good Tom. We hope to see Feel Good Tom soon. He's supposed to be back, I believe, Tuesday, which would line him up for our next show on Wednesday night. So, Tom, I hope you're having a great time up there. I really do. I hope you and the family are doing well, enjoying some good weather, I hope, and getting some beach rays and getting into the ocean, having some fun up there in Ocean City, New Jersey. But we'll start with the Boston shit sucks because that is what they are right now until further notice. You'll notice behind me, you don't see a Red Sox jersey. Well, you're not going to until they straighten their act out. If we're being honest, are they 100% healthy? No, they are not. But they're playing the Kansas City Royals. If you can't win that series, I'm not saying you got to sweep them. You're on the road. But if you can't win that series, when you have J.D. Martinez, when you have Devers, when you have Xander Bogaerts, and you can't muster up something. And again, I said this weeks ago that the trade deadline was going to tell us a story. They did not go out and get a frontline starter. They did not get a closer. Those were the 2 most important things beyond a bad. They had 5 runs to and 10 hits. 5 runs is not a bad day. Okay? 5 runs is not bad. You had some offense. Could have been better? Sure. But the 5 runs is not. I'm not going to sit there and say they had 10 hits and they left 3 on base. They were 3 for 6 with runners in scoring position. I'm not going to eat their lunch for that. But the pitching staff, if you want to call it that, once again showed why the trade deadline was so important. Now, look, I'm not saying they didn't go out and try to make deals. I'm not saying they didn't try and go out and get somebody. I don't know. The bottom line is they weren't able to do that for whatever reason. Whether they tried or didn't try, I don't know. But nothing happened. Okay, they replaced a bat behind the plate for a bat at first base, which is not they're about it's the same type of hitter, basically. Their stats are comparable. So they didn't move the needle, and I feared that might happen. So here we are. August 7th, they are currently, if I want to really look at this and make myself, if I throw up, I'm sure I'll point that way so you don't see it. But, I mean, if we're being honest here, looking at the current standings right now, I'm not going to go into this recap thing because I want to throw up. They are in dead last in the best division in baseball. They're the only team below 500. They're 54 and 56. If you go to the wild card standings currently, as they are now 5 out or trailing whoever it is. Toronto has a firm grip on that. They got a 2-game lead on Tampa, and then the Mariners. So those 3 are there, and then you've got so really they're 5 back of I think the Mariners for that 3rd and final spot. You've got Cleveland, Chicago, who's now 2 games over 500. The White Sox, who knew about them, and now you have the Guardians, the Mariners, and the Orioles, and the White Sox all between the Red Sox and their division rivals, the Rays and the Jays. That's a lot of teams to hurdle. Now there's a lot of time left, but right now, as it currently stands, this might not even end up being close. They are closer to the Texas Rangers than they are the Seattle Mariners right now. So that's how far the Red Sox have dipped. Going just back into that pitching staff tonight, just for the latest debacle. If you really want to, for those of you Red Sox that really want to actually hear this, which might be maybe 1 or 2 of you, I don't know. I would just say that they were, the pitching staff was once again atrocious. The starter, Crawford, who is now 3 and 4, 70 pitches, he had 45 strikes, 5 innings pitched, 5 earned runs, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, blah, 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 blah. That's what that was. They didn't really get much help. I don't know. Actually, they were 3. No, they didn't. Who am I kidding? So Schreiber came in, gave up 2 earned runs, and not even in the 3rd of an inning. And then D. Hernandez mopped it up, literally. 23 pitches, only 7 strikes. He gave on 1 hit 5 earned runs. That's disgusting, ladies and gentlemen. Hence the 13-5 drubbing at the hands of the lowly Kansas City Royals, who with that win are now a whopping 44 and 65. So with that win, they are still 21 games below 500. That is the state of the Boston shit sucks. Meanwhile, before I came out here tonight, I'm watching the Dodgers and the Padres, and I'm saying to myself, what's Mookie Betts, that guy, goes 2 for 2 right out of the gate, whacks one off the left field wall for a double. I'm saying to myself, why can't we get players like that? I don't know. I sound like Bob Lobel from the mid-'80s. Why can't we, when the Fellowship of the Miserable was alive? Actually, I think Boston was the birthplace of the Fellowship of the Miserable, and Bob Lobel was driving the cart, and with good reason. But so this is where we are. The state of the shit sucks. I don't really know where they're going next. I don't even know that I care at this point. Wake me up when they get above 500, if that even does happen again, because there's a good chance it will not, unless they get healthy. And who knows when they're going to get healthy? Chris Sale is snake bit. I said he gets. I was joking when I said he gets hurt taking a shower. Well, that's not a real that much of exaggeration rather right now. So that's where the shit sucks are at. Dead last, and dead last. And there is no light at the end of that tunnel right now. Okay? For those of you New Yorkers, the Yankees lost one again. Oh no, what are you going to do, New York? The poor Yankees. How dare they lose a game? They're sitting there. The Yankees have lost 5 in a row. 5 in a row. They've lost 5 in a row, and they are still 9.5 games in front of the Blue Jays. They've lost 5 in a row. Okay? And they're still sitting at 31 games above 5. That's how far ahead of everybody else the Yankees are. Now, here's the thing, though. There is a problem, because thank God for them, the Astros dropped a heartbreaker today, 1-0 to the Guardians, because they're half a game back of the Yankees right now. So we have a dog race, a Donnybrook, if you will. There are 53 games left. You got 2 teams separated by half a game for the best record in the American League. That's going to be a hell of a race down to the finish. And the Yankees better be careful, because I said this earlier, and I think Tom agreed with me. If the Houston Astros get home field, this is a coin flip series if they run into each other. So the Yankees nothing is settled there, but they're walking away with the A's. Toronto, to their credit, is making some ground. They've got to 9.5 games. They've got a firm grip on one of their top wild card spots. The Rays have started to, they haven't righted the ship. They're 5-5 in the last 10, but they're not terrible. tell you what, the Chicago White Sox have got themselves into the picture here, and have done a heck of a job climbing out of the doldrums to where they're alive and well in that wild card race, and they're alive and well in that division race. The AL Central is seems to be quite a Donnybrook. You got Minnesota 57-51, Cleveland 1 game back, 56-52, and then Chicago 55-53. So 3 teams, 2 games separated. So that could be a hell of a race down the stretch. And then out west, the Mariners, who are trying to get their 5-5 in the last 10, but they're right there in the thick of the wild card race as well. Look, I like this because the more teams you have in it, and the more exciting baseball we get to watch. And so just because the Red Sox are nosediving out of this race doesn't mean it's still not fun to watch. If you're a sports fan, if you're a competitor like me, you like to see competition, this is cool. This is fun to watch. Out west, the Mets have solidified their lead in the East. They have taken 4 out of 5 from the Braves, their rival there in that division. They are now 6.5 up. Tom, they are also. Hey, Tom, guess who has the same record as the New York Yankees? The New York Mets. Shut your mouth. Shut your pie hole. Okay, you got nothing to say. I don't want to say I told you so, but I'm going to say I told you so because I said these guys had a lineup with dogs. And we got dogs. Dogs are in it for the long run. Dogs don't tap out at halftime. This team has staying power, and they proved it in this series against Atlanta. They ain't going anywhere. Okay, and they're going to have a very good shot in this thing at the end of it if they stay healthy. So that's the situation in the NL East. The Cardinals beat the Yankees in a slugfest. The Cardinals are starting to wake up. They're now 60-48. They've won 7 in a row. They're 9 out of their last 10. The Cardinals have woke up, which is going to make that race even more interesting out there because now you got another rooster in the hen house. They are 12 games over 500. They have won 7 in a row. Them and the Dodgers are the 2 hottest teams out west. And the Dodgers are in the midst of a 7-game win streak right now. And again, they're up 2-0 on the Padres, who have lost 3 in a row, but they're still 12 games up, so they're going to be in the fight. And then you have Philadelphia, who is quietly gone to 60-48. They had another win today, I believe. So the West is looking almost as exciting as the East in terms of these teams jostling for position in the wild cards. But the AL Central is the interesting one. There's a legit pennant race, or division race rather, going on there. So with 3 teams divided by 2 games or less. So that's going to be fun to watch down the stretch. So if you're a fan of any one of those teams, there's reason for excitement. And I like that. Baseball used to get pretty boring around this time of year because the 3 or 4 teams that separate themselves combined in both conferences. It was like, let's just get to October already. Well, this race looks like it's going to be fun all the way to the finish line. And for Major League Baseball, that's good. So hopefully these teams keep it up and it becomes a series of Donnybrooks down the stretch because nobody likes a good Donnie like me. So this should be fun to watch. But the Dodgers right now, percentage-wise, they are top of the heap at a 692 clip, 74-33 going into tonight. They have eclipsed the Yankees right now for the best record in all of baseball. So it's them, it's the Yankees, the Mets, the Astros, and then you got the Braves. So these teams are teetering out after that, are filling out the top 10 there. So look, this is that time of year. We are in August. We're in starting up the stretch run, and looking at the schedule, starting next week. I mean, you've got. If we go to Monday here, I love technology. Don't you love technology? Right at our fingertips. Technology. It's a beautiful thing. So Monday you've got Toronto playing Baltimore. That's going to be a Donnie. Cincinnati at the Mets. Mets need to take care of business there. They should beat that team. Then you got the Yankees are out in Seattle. That's Monday. Okay? And San Fran is at San Diego. So Monday's got 3 good games on the docket. Highlighted with Baltimore and Toronto. New York should take care of Cincinnati if they're serious, and then you get the Yankees now, who are not looking in the rearview mirror, and they're out in Seattle, who's in the middle of a race, which starts this series. Then you go to Tuesday, and Atlanta is coming up to Boston. Oh baby, could this be the last stand of the shit sucks? Could this be where they go splat, like truly go splat? That'll be interesting. Atlanta's coming in; they've lost 4 out of 5. They're going to be angry. They're going to be angry, and the Sox are going to be curled up in a fetal position, or they better be coming out desperate because they've got to win that series. And they probably have to sweep it. Okay? It's never too early to panic when you've got that many teams to hurdle now, which the Red Sox have managed to do that, where there's 4 teams between them and the 3rd wild card spot, or 3 teams. That's a lot of teams, and they're 5 games back. They got to ratchet it up now. So they got the Braves coming in on Tuesday. I think it's a 2 or 3 game set. Tampa Bay's go up to Milwaukee. Milwaukee's also kind of out there. They're fighting. They're in the race. And then you've got, let's see here. Yeah, those are the ones I'll be adding to Tuesday. Tampa Bay at Milwaukee, that should be a very interesting series also. So there's 3 or 4 series right there to start the week that are definitely, eye catchers in terms of where these races are going for the playoffs in both the AL and the NL. And these are things we've got to be looking forward to. The big thing this time of year, and you guys know what I'm about to say, it's that dreaded word, the I word, injuries, baby. This is it. Who's going to, and look, you don't know when, you can't predict when it's going to happen or who they're going to happen to. The hope would be, for me personally, if the Red Sox get healthy so they can actually make this interesting, because if they're not healthy, that ain't going to happen, meaning Chris Sale. So they got to get healthy, and the other teams that are in there, they got to stay healthy. If you're missing anybody right now, any of those contenders, they got to get them back and get them back quick. It's all hands on deck, because it looks like in both conferences there's going to be a lot of teams jostling for these positions, and there's going to be a lot of Donnybrooks down the stretch. So injury bug, here it comes. Who is it going to land on? Whose face is it going to land on? It's been kind of sitting on the Red Sox neck all season. That's not an excuse, because you don't need a full roster to take 2 out of 3 or 3 from Kansas City, who's playing for nothing. That's just junk right there. So, and again, the bats showed up today with 5 hits, but the pitching staff, they don't have a pitching staff. Okay, they got a bunch of anybody's and nobodies and somebodies, and there's nothing there. There's nothing there. This middle relief crap may have run its course. I mean, Core, to his credit, weaved a tapestry last year with how he did that. It was masterful. How the strength of that team, which was middle relief pitching, got them within 2 games of the World Series. Well, I think the air is out of the balloon. I don't see this middle relief, okay, whatever's left of it, reaching back and having this majestic run to the finish. They got to get their ace back and fast. And again, with a broken hand or broken finger, who the hell knows what that's going to be, or how long that's going to be. But they got to find a way to win that Atlanta series, and they got to win it big. They probably got to sweep them, honestly. So that's the situation in baseball. We're going to take a short break. We come back. We're going to switch gears. We're going to turn to the NFL. Hall of Fame was this weekend. Richard Seymour, Patriot great, dominant defensive lineman, one of the most dominant defensive linemen of the 2000s, early 2000s, part of that first part of the dynasty. Never got enough credit for how great he was, really, but he's in the Hall of Fame, so I can't say he's getting his just due, but I think people realize just how dominant that man was when he was in Foxborough. But there was a lot of good Hall of Fame. A lot of guys got in that deserved to get in, and some were kind of waiting. So we're going to turn around our attention to Major League Football. Also going to talk about the Commanders. First look at the Commanders. Carson Wentz is in town, ladies and gentlemen. I know you Commander fans are just so excited. So we're going to talk about that when we get back. What does Carson Wentz have to do? There are obvious answers, but I mean, in terms of what does he have to do? The Redskins were in the playoffs 2 years ago. Last year, took a step back. They had some injury problems. Carson Wentz, this is the do or die year for him. Nobody else is coming to look for him. It's this or it's he's a backup from now on if he's anything. He might just be out of the league. So if anyone, we'll talk about the pressure that he is under to perform this year. State of the Washington Commanders, what they need to do. Healthy would be one thing. I can't remember last time that team was actually healthy for a season. I never hear it. Sorry. The bug flying in wanting some attention. We'll come back, turn to football, Hall of Fame, Washington Commanders, and we'll take a brief jaunt around preseason NFL. Games start this week. 2 games on Thursday, a bunch on Saturday, a bunch on Sunday. We'll dive into that when we come back. So, hey, it is Sunday night. We are starting the week off with a bang. Congratulations to the New York Mets. My friend Tom is in his glory right now. He's probably sipping on a pina colada or whatever he's doing up there. And he should be celebrating the Mets because the Mets are looking for real. Up there in Shit Sucks Nation, not good, not good. So we'll take a break. We'll be back shortly. You guys grab a beverage. We will see you on the other side.